going in to see Aquaman, and I'm already like 7 minutes late, but hopefully I didn't miss too much. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna talk about Aquaman, but why, when I literally about to start the video, I just googled Aquaman because I was gonna try to find out, make sure I have all the names of the characters because I'd be forgetting. I seen it yesterday. And why Rotten Tomato gave it 35%? Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. That's him. Dang, box office 375 million. That's wild. The release December 22nd. Yeah, it's down bad. Because it didn't even have the Dolby theater for too long. Like Mean Girls overtook it real quick. Dang. Yeah, I kind of slept on Aquaman. I was like, I don't know if I really want to go see it because DC they be disappointing these days. I mean, I liked the last Batman with Robert Pattinson actually, and I went to go see it twice in theaters, and I thought it was good. I mean, it was a long movie, but it did not really feel like that when I was watching it, and I felt like it addressed all the stuff that I actually cared about for Batman, like low-key sense of entitlement and the fact that this dude don't use none of his money to actually help the community. So I thought that was great they addressed that, but I was still like a little iffy on going to see this. I barely remember the last Aquaman. I know it was, he found out that his mom, or I don't know if he already knew his mom at Atlantis and he had to go find her, and then he found out he had a brother, and then yeah, they got into that fight over the throne or whatever, and he's like the one true king of Atlantis. Honestly, I would recommend you just go watch this on streaming service when it comes out. Do not spend your money to go watch this in theaters. I feel like there are better movies in theaters to go watch, honestly. But if you did go, I would recommend going. I was curious to see if I would, like, what it would have sounded like in the Dolby. I feel like that could have made a difference a little bit. I did see it in 3D, and I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say, I guess it was cool. Like, I mean, I'm glad I watched it. Would I watch this movie again? Probably not. But I thought visually it looked pretty. At least I liked Aquaman's suit. That looked dumb nice. It was all shiny and stuff. I thought that looked good. But okay, I'm gonna go through my notes throughout the film because yeah, there's a lot. I did like the visuals of the underwater in the beginning. Yeah, I came in late, so it was like 6 minutes in, but Black Manta, he was with the Dr. Steven, and they were scuba diving to try to find something. So that's the point I came in at, and then I seen him the green trident. Oh yeah, but as soon as that like underwater monster came out, I was like, for sure all the other divers are done for. Felt bad for them. And then I didn't remember him at first, but then I was like, oh, this is the guy who Aquaman killed his dad. And let me just say about that too, from the last movie, I totally felt like he could have saved that dude's dad. Like, I really do not feel he needed to let him die in that scene. Like, because of that, mad other people died because of his actions. Like, I really didn't like that and the fact that it happened, but this is the repercussions for his actions, because now this dude got a whole vendetta and is like literally ready to end his life just to take you down. Okay. And I was just thinking, like, yo, this is literally the perfect type of dude to fall into a trap for like the one wish. Like, he did not even think twice when I remember his name. I mean, I got his name. time I didn't know it, but okay, it was the Necros, but what was the guy's name? Oh, Cordox. Okay. So yeah, Cordox was just like he wants him to release him from his prison. I'm like, that's a huge red flag. You should have picked it up there, but he does not care. And there was one thing he said too. They were like the global warming's happening, and because of that, these ice caps are melting, which I guess has the army of Necros in it. So they can melt, but Cordax can't melt because he has to be released by the blood of the king or the descendants. So Black Manta was just like, well, I guess global warming is a good thing, and Dr. Steven was like, no, it's not. I'm just like, yeah, this is literally showing it from the jump. Like, dude does not care about nothing or no one but his own agenda. A true villain. Okay. But I was like, yeah, it's definitely a red flag though. So time jumps to 5 months later. Rising temperatures, global warming, melting ice caps in the ocean. And then the friend Aquaman had a baby. Oh, that's what I wanted to see. Okay, because that was Amber Heard, and I was also like shocked when I seen her too, because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think they were going to actually include her after that whole trial. And you know what? They included her, but they didn't really include her. Dude, girl, she had like 3 lines throughout the whole movie. Like, she was just in the background, like had to be there because of plot, but it felt like they didn't really want her there, to be honest. But yeah, I guess they had a baby, but this baby's living on land because he's a quarter human. I don't understand why he couldn't live in the water with them because of that. Aquaman does just fine underwater too, so I don't understand why his baby, who's only a quarter human, has to stay on land with them. I thought that was the biggest, like, it's for plot, because it really does not make no sense at all. So he spends half the year in the human world above water because of the kid, and the kid is unprotected, which leads to everything else later on. But okay, so I feel like in places like that, like, the plot was a little bit weak. Like, I feel like stuff that happened was preventable, but I said they put Johnny's ex back in the. Oh yeah, Amber Heard. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Aquaman is king now of Atlantis, which is pretty cool. But there is a council, citadel of Atlantis. And basically, this council, they don't really want to coexist with humans. I'm sorry, I'm doing this so late into this, but like, obviously, spoilers. Like, if you don't know what finds out what happens in this movie, like, go watch it and then listen to talk about this. But yeah, I'm just gonna spoil the whole thing. So yeah, they don't want to coexist with humans because they think humans are freaking diabolical, obviously, and it's been millions of generations where they did not reveal themselves to humans. So yeah, even though they technically have in the past, though. Where was I at? Because, I mean, his mom was still above water doing all that. And if they have, like, later on in the film, they talk about, like, pirates type down there. I feel like there's no way that some of them are not in cahoots with humans and, like, getting stuff. I don't know. That just seems super far-fetched, especially given that amount of kingdoms. But, which I still don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't get how many kingdoms there are. I don't get how they're how they coexist, how they know each other, who's from which. Like, I am so confused in terms of that. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, Aquaman wants to tell the world about them because he wants to help with global warming. They're down bad. Oh my gosh, he just must have looked really good in that scene, because I wrote in the comment Jason sexy ass, because he was looking good. And then the dude sitting with the trident, mad, staring menacingly like a fake Aquaman. Yeah, I don't know what I mean by that. Oh, no, Black Manta, yo. So fast forward 5 months, he basically gets this like under like submarine, and it's like from Atlantis, and it basically it's like has so many features. Like, it has a stealth mode, a shield, like it has like a gun on it. Like, it's really really cool ship. But I'm confused why the ship is built to allow, I mean, I guess they made modifications, but like to allow them to have no water inside where they can breathe oxygen. I feel like it doesn't really make sense since it comes from Atlantis, but maybe they innovated it. He knew how, because Dr. Stephen did say that Black Manta suddenly found all this stuff and he knew how to work it and everything. So I guess that's what we're gonna do to explain that. But I thought it was cool that it had stealth mode. There was this substance called orichalcum fuel, or orichalcum. Yeah, orichalcum. And it's the stuff that powers the ship. And it basically, find out later that it is CO2 emissions. So it's basically polluting the earth and releasing greenhouse gases into the ozone layer. And before, in this civilization, the other kingdom, Necros, they were going to use that, and they were getting a lot of money from it. Like, they were making a lot of money and kind of dominating monopoly over everybody else, but it was also affecting them really badly, and it ended up turning the brother of the king like into like this ugly figure, which is the one we see throughout the film, because it just morphed him and all the people in his kingdom. And it's basically what is accelerating global warming on land in the movie universe. So they first go on the quest to steal the fuel, and they're going into Atlantis. And to me, it's like, I just don't get how Atlantis did not know about none of this going on for 5 months. It seems like a pretty large time to not know about something like this. And that's why I also want clarification on the kingdoms, because I don't get it. Like, are they in, like, it shows them in the flat montage going to different, not montage, but it shows, like, where they're at. And it'd be, like, the South Pacific, or, I mean, South, I don't know. It showed the oceans they were at. Don't quote me. And, I just want to know, like, is there these different kingdoms in the different oceans? Like, are they only concentrated in one place? Like, I don't really get it. I don't really get it at all. Because if he's the king, like, I mean, he's just king of Atlantis, but not king of the ocean. Beats me. Alright, so they have these machines that look like squids. They use to travel Black Manta and his crew, and to try to infiltrate and steal this fuel. And I thought those actually looked really cool. They looked like really fluid in the water. But then later on in the movie, when there's a close-up, and it's like, they kind of look like the legs from Spider-Man's nemesis. What's his name? Oh, shoot. What the heck is his name? Oh, Doc Ock. Yeah. They look like the hands from Doc Ock's machine. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It didn't really look as cool as it did when they were swimming through. I don't know. But yeah, so they infiltrate that, and then they basically cause like mass destruction, and I'm sure people die. Like, I feel like in movies, like superhero movies, they always are like quick to show deaths of creatures that they deem non-human. Like, I feel like they do it a lot, and it kind of desensitizes it, because it's like, I mean, it's a movie, but like, I feel like they kind of make it seem like it's not as that bad for like having one of them die because they're just not human. Like, just mass genocide, but like, not even just this movie. I feel like a lot of like other movies too, for Marvel and DC. Like, they're much easier at killing off. Oh, that's a good example. Freaking that movie that came out, Marvel with the Skrulls, the Marvels, and the Skrulls, like, those people were dying like left and right there. Like, it was literally mass death. And I feel like they just showed it, and it kind of just made it seem like it was just like, oh, whatever. I don't know. But then again, they do show human deaths, like in no, it's not the same. I was gonna say like in World War Z with the zombies, but I digress. Okay. So oh yeah, I was like, who the hell do they got working on this ship for Black Manta? Like, I don't know who would agree to set like any type of job like that. I don't know what they'd have to pay for someone to agree to that, but there's no way I would take a job where I have to go in a submarine and find something for somebody and be on a voyage or whatever. Like, no, there is no way. You cannot pay me enough. You cannot pay me. Like, I wouldn't do it. But then again, I realized later on, like when he's talking to Dr. Steven, he does threaten him, like he'll kill him if he doesn't go along with stuff. So maybe he did that for everyone else. That's when it started to make sense. But before this, I was just like, why are these people agreeing to this? Like, I would never. And I don't know, I was like 5 months was enough time for them to learn a ship as complicated as this and actually cause harm to Atlanteans. Like, it didn't really make sense to me. It felt like they're fighting the Atlanteans and are just getting away with so much, and it just does not make any sense. Like, y'all live underwater. Y'all trained, born, like, this is your habitat. It doesn't really make sense to me how they are getting, like, punked by this dude who has never been here before. He was just using this technology for 5 months. Y'all ain't evolved way better than that from something so ancient. Like, it just doesn't add up to me. And they're talking all of this about keeping humans away, yet they have no real defense system. So I thought Kane's decision to avenge one man kill so many other people, yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy too. Because, like, you're just avenging your dad, but, like, do you know how many people are dying because of this ambition you have? Like, that's crazy. I was like, this is literally why they don't want to even have anything to do with humans. I thought that the hypertube was cool. It was like the currents, and they ride it through Atlantis. I thought that was a cool concept. It reminded me of Futurama, like when they have those tubes, they just jump in, go through the city. And yo, he blasts the heck out of Black Manta with his like goggles, his mask thing with the red beams. He like blasted Amber Heard's character, and that's how I knew they did not want her in the film, bro, because she, after that, she went down she was barely in the film after that. And even before that, she didn't have no real talking lines. Like, she probably said one thing. But she was down bad. And they were just... Yeah, I just thought the fact that Aquaman losing was pretty pitiful. Yeah, because he got blasted with the gun, that big ray from the back of the ship that Black Manta was riding on. And that happens to him twice throughout the film. Like, you just don't learn. Like, I feel like low-key they made Aquaman just seem really weak at times, and I was not there for it. Like, I hate when it's like, oh, this person just keeps getting beat up, and the only time they come through is at the end of the film. Like, that's just so played out. Like, this is supposed to be a superhero. Like, he's supposed to be OP. Like, why is he straight up losing this bad? Like, give us some wins. Okay. Yeah, and I just wrote, like, they didn't know that they were stealing the orichalcum for 5 months, and I thought that was really inefficient. And oh my gosh, later on they showed visuals of the world and what was happening, and that was so, like, so ridiculously crazy. And I'm just like, y'all are just sitting here watching TV, chilling. Like, I don't know. I felt like the fact that the world wasn't even putting together a last minute, like, global warming efforts to try to change things or work together, that was not happening. But maybe that's just the irony too. So then he gets the suit, which can make him invisible, but it also doesn't cover his face. So at this point, he has to go and steal his brother out of jail, which he put him in because he needs his help in order to find Black Manta. And yeah, they give him this invisible suit, but it's not covering his face. So I just was confused on how it works, because it's the neck down, but the whole face was invisible. I'm just being picky at this point. And I was kind of confused on their amount of, like, durability, or like what their strengths are, because in the water Aquaman did not seem that strong. Like, he was having such a hard time stopping that train that was going, and didn't even really do anything. Like, I felt like he didn't really do anything. So I really am confused about his powers, and he seems to be stronger on land and, like, have, like, a super strength. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling like a lot throughout this whole movie. And then I liked Toba. I thought he was pretty cool. He was like a octopus. Yeah. And I felt like at this point in the film, they were trying to make it, like, lighthearted and funny, and that was not the vibe. And that's when I felt like it kind of went downhill too, because I'm like he's making these jokes that are not funny. Like, the people in the audience are not laughing at it. Like, this, I want it to be a serious tone type of film, like action, and y'all are trying to be jokers, and you're just failing on both ends. Yeah. So they were supposed to be escaping without being caught, because they were like, well, if you get caught and they find out that you broke him out, then it can cause a war between all of the, like, what are they called? Between all of, like, the countries under that kingdom or whatever. So they were really visible, and dude was coming after him. Like, he was in a straight out fight with all these guys. So I really don't get how that's getting past anybody and how it was stealth at all. He just did not care. And I feel like a lot of stuff up to this point too, Aquaman's character, like, he's just very careless. And you really don't know a lot about leading for real, in my opinion. His brother made it that far, but then couldn't walk to the water. I felt like that was a little bit dramatic. He was like walking to, they literally escaped, and he's trying to get to the water because he's like super skinny, and he just falls right there on the sand, like where the tide comes, and it was just like so dramatic. You walk all that far, just walk a little bit more and go straight into the water. Now we have to have a scene where they're about to come get you and the water washes over you. It's just a lot, and it felt like a long film anyways. But once he came out of that water though, he was ripped. He was looking good. I'm not even gonna lie. But on their way back, they're riding back, and he was just miraculously shaved. Like, when this happened, he had a whole beard, full head of hair, and then all of a sudden, he got no facial hair in the next scene, which I thought was weird. Like, it didn't really make sense to me. And then I also feel like if this is Atlantean, he's not a human. I feel like he should have some other qualities or physical like attributes that make him seem like he's not human, like he's from the water, because like they just look like regular humans. Like there seems to be no real difference between Aquaman and anybody else there. I mean, I guess you have other like sea creatures that talk and stuff there, but like people like his mom and other guy there, they look regular. But David was like to the doctor, oh yeah, that's when he's like, do you want to die or help me? Because he was just like, we're about to unlock the greatest power in history. And Doc's like, I don't give a fuck. And then I felt like the puns were kind of weak too. Like they would be saying stuff like, put a hook in it. Like, see, that stuff that don't make sense to me either. Because this dude didn't know what a cheeseburger was. Didn't know he wasn't supposed to eat a cockroach. But at the same time, knew what a hook is to make a pun like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like they was trying a little bit too hard. I work under that. The humor in this film sucks. And the plot is somewhat interesting, which saves it. But the whole ending is just so anticlimactic. Oh yeah, so the Citadel for pirates, and they immediately start fighting just to try to get information. And it was I'm glad he didn't bargain with the guy. I forgot his name. That creature that was heading the Citadel for pirates. Because he was like, oh, you have blood on your hands. He was like, I don't have hands. I don't even have feet. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And yeah, I'm glad he didn't do business with him. And then he found out where David Black Manta is, and it's an island called the Devil's Deep, which I thought it was beautiful. I thought that visually was really nice to look at. And they're walking through, and Aquaman's like to Ocean Master, his brother, don't let your prejudice stop you from enjoying half the world. And I really like that line. I thought that was pretty good, heartfelt moments between them. But then he lets him eat a cockroach, and I just feel like that ruins it. But it did get a few chuckles from the crowd, one of the very few laughs it got throughout the film. And then they have to start running because they see this huge fly and these huge rats because the CO2 was just draining the island. And he starts running. Ocean Master starts running, and it's like the Naruto run. He's like, why are you running like that? He's like, I don't know what to do with my arms. I've never ran. And he's like, shows him how to move it, and he just starts going way faster. But that did get a chuckle out of me too. And then they see this statue, and all these flies are coming at them, and Aquaman just jumps up and hits it, because it's like, the true king will make a path or something like that. Oh, true kings build bridges. And it just looks stupid. And then it actually falls and creates a bridge for them. And they run across, and he just puts the, knocks it down after that. And this one fly comes up, and it's like, jumps, and it's about to hit him. And he just punched it in the face, and it falls down. And I thought that was actually pretty cool in 3D. That's probably the only thing that I would think you'd go and see it for in 3D. It's not that great. I still feel like you should just watch it at home. Okay, so then Doc Ock sticks the trident together, and he sees the Green Army, and it's just like frightened by it. And David just wants to destroy Aquaman, and that's such a weak cause. Yeah, I feel like to cause this much destruction in the world over one guy is just dumb. But I mean, I guess because he's being mind controlled, it's enhancing it. But as you can see though, with Ocean Master later on in the film, he decides to let go and allow Aquaman to do his thing, and that does like release some of the hold of the power on there. So if he really wanted to, he could have not did this. And honestly, I just think the whole thing was trash. Like, so many people in the film died for this, and I mean, it's a movie, so people don't care. But like, the consequences for what he was trying to do really didn't add up to me. So I also thought it was funny when it got a sigh out of me. When Ocean Master was just like, what do you mean you didn't care about having a throne, or like fighting me? My father told me growing up that you'd be training for the day he'd be challenged for the throne. And he was like, the fact that I kicked your ass with no training, because well, yeah, he's like, that's sad given the fact that I kicked your ass with no training. Yeah, I thought that was a cool moment. But I just thought it was dumb. Like, Aquaman never wanted the throne. He just wanted to save humans. And at that point, I was like, I really did feel like he should have gave the throne back to Ocean Master. Like, I mean, I get it. He was mad. He's older brother, whatever. But you don't even know the history of the land. You don't even care that much. This dude dedicated his whole life to it. And yeah, I mean, I could see why he's mad. Yeah, and I thought he was actually going to give the throne back to him if he comes out to the world and work for humans, but at the end of the film, it's like he doesn't. And I thought when they stormed the ship, Aquaman and Ocean Master, they were a little bit doing the most to beat these guys up, because it's like, y'all are like superhumans on land. These are just regular humans. Like, I feel like they were doing the most. And I thought it was funny when Doc was just like, please take me with you. And he was like, nah. But I thought it was sweet. He just wanted to share Atlantis with the world. He had no intention of causing any harm to anybody. He just wanted to see. Like, he wanted to learn. But I feel like Aquaman was just being a little kid, like wanting to knock Dr. Steven out. And Ocean Master just had to be like, no. It was like, I thought that scene was stupid and childish. Like, a lot of this movie just had me, like, rolling my eyes. I'm just like, when is it over? And I feel like I just have so many more notes of this movie because it's just we're not even like halfway. I mean, we are halfway through it at this point, but like, oh my gosh. All right. Wait, where the heck was I at? Yeah, more questioning. Did he have super strength on land? Oh yeah, and then when that machine is landing behind his little bro, he's like taking so long to turn around. It's like, this is a loud ass machine. Like, they're not showing sound in the movie, but like, I don't know. It just seems like that it just made me mad. Like, I don't know if it's the editing or whatever. And I felt like, yeah, they defeated the machine in the most stupidest way. Like, the most stereotypical, like, villain takedown, just grabbing a string or something long and wrapping it around the legs of the person until they fall down and you escape. Like, it was one of those, and it's like, this is in like every freaking film. Like, nothing is original. Like, did y'all even put work into this, into the plot? Like, it's just such a carbon copy. Like, I don't know. So, yeah. And I was just questioning, like, where was Black Manta this whole time this was happening? Because to me, it's like, I feel like he's the first one to know about anything going down, something like this. But I liked how Ocean Master finally took Arthur's hand to help him get up. Like, he finally kind of accepted him. Like, okay, you're my brother. But then he gets laid out by Black Manta. Like, he's like, oh, I got this. And Aquaman's like, no, you're stronger than you think. Dude punches him in the face, and he just slides on his back on the ground, and he's just laying there for dumb long. Like, how embarrassing. How embarrassing, yo. Like, and then Aquaman is also struggling. Like, I get it. This dude is supposed to be, like, strong, but, like, I hate when they make superheroes like this who are just, like, their villain is just, like, on the same level of powerfulness as they are. Like, but then again, I don't know. I watch One Piece, and it do be like that sometimes. It do. So I can't even hate. It's not even all films. Alright. So the brother picks up the trident, and freaking Black Manta just fries his ass. He hits him with the beams, and he goes down. He's about to get it until Aquaman comes and basically saves him. And I was just like, yo, David, I keep saying David because I didn't even know his name was Black Manta in the film. I only got it from Google now that I know that. He was eating them up. Like, he was really putting a whooping on them. For real. And I just didn't understand, if they're in water now, how is the grapple hook moving faster than Aquaman swimming? Like, you would think they're Atlanteans, so they have super speed swimming skills, and it don't seem like they do. Like, they're always getting outmaneuvered, outswam by everything. So I'm like, what do these people really even bring besides breathing underwater? And then that was the second time he also got messed over by the cannon. Like, you didn't learn the first time you can't maneuver left or right. Like, I guess just plot. And then this dude is like under a rock, just like struggling, like not able to get it off. Like, so are you not strong underwater? Like, I guess he isn't. I think that's the thing. I guess he's not, because you're literally doing the most above water, have all this strength to knock down a whole statue, yet you can't move a boulder underwater. But once his brother picks up the trident, before he's seen like a flash forward or a flashback of Necros and Kordox and the Black City curse transformed everyone, like and he was imprisoned in ice. And the key to freedom is the royal blood, descendant of the bloodline. And then they're like, oh wow, it's not just us, there's still a baby. So throughout this whole time, he just left his kid unattended with his father. And I just felt like that was ridiculous. And then Black Manta comes in and stabs his dad and was like, I'm just gonna leave you alive, which I felt was dumb. I feel like if he really wanted to get revenge on this dude for killing his dad, he could have easily just like called his dad. I mean, not called his dad. He could have went after Aquaman's dad and just did like an eye for an eye and killed him. Instead, he had to ruin his whole life where all these people were involved. And it's like, I feel like it could have been easy for him to just find out the location for his dad. Not saying I condone him taking out his dad, but like, it just didn't really make any sense to me. So he takes the baby, which I thought was twisted. And yeah, so when they were on land, I actually really thought that again, Aquaman's costume looks so good on him. Like, it looks so good on him. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on it. Yeah, Small Army would have made more sense for him to take out his dad. Okay, at this point though in the film, I thought the stakes were actually really high, because it's like, okay, now they got a baby, the whole kingdom war is at stake. They need to find the baby. Global warming is about to ruin the world. Like, it was high stake situation, and that's why it had me intrigued. And I felt like David again was just terrible what he's saying. Like, he's like talking about global warming, like nothing the world wasn't already doing. We just fast forward a few years in terms, like, I was like, what a dick, bro. Like, he was just pretty terrible. And I was just questioning where the heck was Aquaman's trident earlier in the film. Like, it was nowhere to be seen this whole time, and that didn't really make any sense to me. He could have stopped the whole ship probably with that. And honestly, if he had the ability to call these animals, I don't understand why he didn't call these animals to block like the ship leaving or something. Like, I feel like he could use his powers as so much better than what they did for him. Yeah, I literally said that. Oh yeah, I guess the what was her name? Stingray. She was one that was kind of the captain of Black Manta's ship, like the woman. She was like, "You gotta be kidding me." I thought that was a weak line when I heard it. That's all I wrote about it. Then the ship exploded from inside. And I guess everybody died. Like, we didn't see nothing else about Stinger or anybody else in that ship after that. So I guess they're done for. But the doc got lucky. He wasn't in that ship. He was in like a little squid compartment thing, and they were going in Antarctica to try to take out I don't know, do their last bidding or whatever. I guess that's where the tomb was, where they needed to place the blood to revive Kordox. And I was questioning why Spider-Man was raised, but I mean, now I guess I know a little bit more why. Because they were just frozen, but they weren't held in by that blood spell. So with global warming happening, they were all coming out. And yeah, I was still confused about the kingdoms. I thought it was funny because I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's his dad or another guy there. I forgot who he was from the last film. But he was with like Aquaman and Ocean Master and Aquaman's mom and Amber Heard like this whole time. Atlanta. Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. That's his mom's name. Yeah. He was with them the whole time, but he was like to Aquaman, like, oh, don't turn your back to him, don't trust him, he'll stab you in the back. And then he's like about to get taken by this like big octopus thing, and he like looks up to him for help, and he just like turns the corner and just goes. I was like, oh shoot, he's about to leave him to die. And then he comes from a different angle and cuts it off with the axe he gave him because he didn't want to give him a gun because he didn't trust him. So I was like, damn. I thought it would have been way more interesting if he actually did leave him. And then they are fighting all this and that, and the baby just starts crying, and Aquaman couldn't sense it because I guess they have telepathy or something like that. And at first, Dr. Steven tricks Black Manta by giving him the wrong bag. Like, he gives him an explosion when he asks for the baby and runs, but then he hits him with like a taser, so he just falls to the ground. Like, I was like, it don't really sound like him. Like, I feel like this dude, if he's so reckless and did all this, he would have just killed him. Like, he already said before, he didn't want to have any opposition, so he's gonna use that blade to do him in, and he never does any of that. So then Aquaman yells, "Get away from my son!" And then I thought the choreography for Black Manta and Aquaman's fight was weak as hell, yo. Like, it just was with the tridents, ding, 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 ding. Like, it just felt so stupid. Like, I'm like, why am I watching this right now? Why? But then Amber Heard comes to save the day, and gets David off Arthur before he like is about to end him with the trident. But then he throws it at her, and when she's running away with the baby, and she turns, and Ocean Master's there to try to catch it. So he takes it, and she runs, but that's when it like takes over his body. So yeah, he starts fighting Aquaman, and they're like fighting over the trident, and he's trying to talk to him like, no matter what, you are not alone. We are in this together. You're my brother. That was heartfelt, and then it hit me in the heartstring. It's like, damn, that's cute. And then like he knocks the shit out of Aquaman, like so much so that the blood spills out onto the table, which happens to be the ritual table they needed the blood for, and it raises Cordox. And then freaking Arthur throws his trident at Cordox, like once he's like standing, and I just thought, like, what made you think throwing this dude's own weapon at him would hurt him? He grabs it and just thinks he's about to do something, and then Aquaman grabs his own trident and throws it again, and that one actually shatters the green trident and ends him. And I'm just thinking, like, that's all it took. So you're telling me we went through this whole thing, He's literally struggling against Black Manta, doing all this. This dude is controlling him. He has his own army, thousands of years old. His uncle, like, and all it takes is him throwing one trident at him to end him. Like, that just felt so weak. Like, it didn't, that's it. Like, that's all it took. I was kind of mad about that. I was definitely mad about that because it was just so anticlimactic. Like, they made him look like he had so much power for nothing. And then, like, the building starts shattering, and Black Manta's holding on to the side, and Aquaman is just standing over him mad menacingly, like looking down at him. I'm like, yo, this dude, he's such an asshole. And then he offers his hand, and he was like, nah, like, basically, I'd rather die, and just falls back. I'm like, of course he would do that. Like, why would you think you killed his dad? You made him look like a bitch. Why would you think he want to grab your hand? And then I thought Tobo for the win because he grabbed Ocean Master and Aquaman and got him out of the destruction of the building. And yeah, I wrote too, that suit was sexy. Yo, I thought Jason Momoa looked great through this whole film, not gonna lie. If there was any reason to watch it, is to watch him in that suit, for real. Like, whatever with the plot and the plot holes and cinematography, whatever. Jason Momoa, he's looking good. So they finally they get out of all that, and they're gonna let Ocean Master live just to fake his death, basically, there, and let him go on. But it kind of just doesn't even, like, he kind of leaves and it's like, if you lead, Atlantis will follow. Like, that's it. Like, but they was not trying to follow him earlier. And he's not being a good leader. That doesn't really solve any of the other problems that they're facing in the movie. Nor did they touch on at all global warming after this event. So I'm like, what the heck is happening? Like, okay, yeah, he stopped this, but okay, what are we doing about global warming? Like, yeah, they're saying they joined the UN, so people will know about him and now they can make a step forward, but honestly, I didn't really feel like that was enough for how much they hyped it up and how terrible it was going. So yeah, they were in New York seeking membership to the UN. And it was daytime in all the places it was broadcasting this across the world, which I thought was just dumb. And honestly, I don't know how feasible that is in real life. Like, what? I mean, maybe now, because I don't know. Like, what place, you see this all the time on TV, but what place in the world really be having the same news playing all over the world and everybody just finding out at the same exact time about something happening? Or maybe because I don't watch the news, so I don't really. But even still, that just seems so unfeasible. And then Ocean Master ends with the end credit scenes, him finally trying a burger, and him putting a freaking cockroach in it, and was just like, yeah, this is nice. Thought that was disgusting. And the last line of the film is Aquaman saying, I am Aquaman. Freaking cliche, but I don't know. Yeah, that's how I felt about the film. Will I ever watch that again? No. I felt like a lot just talking about it again, and the more I talk about it out loud, the more I just don't really like it. So honestly, I don't think they were wrong for the 35%. Like, it's just not that great. I would probably put it on the same level as, like, Mean Girls, like a 4 to 10, because I would also never go and watch it again. And it was not even as good as your average movie where you just see one time and it's like whatever. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought about the film. in the comments below if you agree or disagree with anything I said. And make sure to subscribe, and talk to you guys later.